She girl not Kayla in Paris, and we're back with Not Kayla Memorial Channel, where we store the girl memories. Like this is where all the memories are stored for my baby, but all my babies. So if something happened to me, they got this channel to watch all of this. Okay, so this is part two of my how can I say my of why I'm like this, and why I'm not that joyful, happy kid no more that I used to be. I have my times where I am. Okay, but why I'm grieving the way I'm grieving. All right. So like I said, I kept dying on my kids, falling, hitting the tables. My head kept hitting the tables and the chairs. I would just die in front of my kids every time they came around. Something was going on. I'd be on the phone and I'd fall right onto the table right in front of my son. Like I just, to see this was out of control at this point. And I'm at my mother's house. I'm dying all in front of my sick mother. And I'm praying to God that God don't take me away from here. And one day, I had wanted to help my stepson, him and his girlfriend, before she became his wife. And I wanted to help them because they got put out. And my baby father already called me and told me, don't let him in, don't let him come in. I was like, look, I ain't about to do that. I can't do that. So I asked my mother, can they stay the night to the next day, till they could find somewhere to go. And my mom said, yeah. And they stayed the night and they were there with me, and I got to know my stepson, which I had never met to that day. I had got to know him. He was very cool, very respectful. I was still dealing with somebody else, but trying to get them out of my life at the time. But that person came around me, and as usual, people want to bring you stuff. They're trying to make you take it so you get knowing that you sick and you can't do that shit no more. And that was a point where I realized about that person that person wasn't for me, because if you kid, you wouldn't even want to put no type of nothing in my body to make to that this will make me seize. Y'all getting what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm sitting up on the bed. I had just smoked me a little blunt. So I'm sitting up on the bed and I'm literally watching my son play the game. So he over there playing the game, and him and his girlfriend talking. So he was like, I remember the last thing he said was, I'm going to back room to lay down. Me and Eddie going to back room to lay down. And I was like, okay. So somewhere between that, I just couldn't remember that. All I remember is just screaming. I went into a full-blown seizure. That man must have came around and stressed me out so bad that my brain knew it was him. And I mean, y'all, I was dying second by second. Every time I opened my eyes, I see my mother, and I would go back out and have another one. And my mother was sitting there crying because she didn't know what to do. And my little brother came. It was like God sent my little brother. And my little brother came, and he called the ambulance. And I wouldn't stop seizing. I just kept seizing and seizing and seizing. I didn't know my name. My kids said I didn't know my name. They said I didn't know what the date was. I didn't know too much of anything. So at that point, I'm crashing out. I'm dying. I wake up in the hospital. I'm on life support. Excuse me, y'all, for that. Excuse me. I wake up in the hospital. I'm on life support, fighting for my life, choking off a tube. But mind you, I didn't already seen everything I need to see when it comes to God, to know that there is a God and there is a heaven. Okay? I went through the whole thing. I seen my grandmother. My grandmother turned me back around. I went to heaven. I walked through the flowers in the midst of the beautifulest storm I could have been going through at that time. It was so beautiful. I seen flowers. I could smell them. I was happy. And when I got to the top, I seen my grandmother. She turned me back around. And that was my calling. That was when I changed. And when I woke up, I was coughing off blood. I didn't supposed to wake up. I had over 25 seizures. My brain and my heart kept stopping because I have grand mal seizures, which kills you every time you have one. So they took me out in a bag, and they took me to the hospital. When I woke up, I choked up the tube. I was coughing. You know, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where I was. I fought through that. God brought me through that. And I was a changed woman. And when I went back home, I didn't want to deal with, nothing negative. I wanted to deal with positivity. I didn't want to listen to no rap. I wanted to listen to gospel. I humbled myself. I stayed in my room. I cut men off period. I just was in the phase of rebuilding my mind and learning who I was all over again, not even knowing that that's what I was doing. But God really humbled me at that time, and He allowed me to be loved and around all my family, all my kids, my mom, my brothers. I turned 30 in my mother's house. It was beautiful. It was so much love that I didn't understand it until after my daughter died, of how God had changed me. And this is hard because this was 2022, November of 2020. No, this was 2021, November 2021. So remind you, that's November 2021. So part three is going to be what happened between that time all the way up to when my daughter got killed. So y'all can understand why I'm like this and why I'm not the same person I was. Yes, I still have the same name. Yes, I still like the same foods, but mind-wise and mentally, I'm not that person no more. And we only have 35 more seconds on here before I start part three. But I want y'all to know that I'm gonna share some tears on here, and it's okay, because this is to help me. I have so many mental problems right now, seeing my daughter lay on that porch. So I want to share it with my subscribers so y'all can understand me.